It's kind of weird that somebody watched American Psycho, looked at Christian Bale, and was like, yep, that's our perfect Batman. That's our self-loathing visual anti. The man who chased a woman through an apartment building butt-ass naked with a chainsaw, dropped it from like a bunch of floors of stairs, and then hit her with it. That is our protector of Gotham. You know, this was a wild-ass ride. I was surprised, though, to find out this was made in 2000. It's set in the 80s, and I thought it was actually made in the 80s, but to come to find out it is, in fact, 2000. Which Reese Witherspoon is in here, and so, like, the next movie that she probably did right after that would be Legally Blonde, which makes this very interesting, but anyways. So what's American Psycho about? Christian Bale is an 80s Wall Street yuppie, and it's like the most Wall Street yuppie to ever Wall Street yuppie. Makes a massive amount of money, snorts a whole lot of pure Colombian Bam Bam. Nice ass New York City apartment, takes very good care of himself, but also he really finds, I think, it's sexual satisfaction in committing homicides, or anybody he just doesn't deem worthy of living. But the reason I think it's more of a sexual satisfaction is like he has all these doodles planned out, and it's always women, like always women, in various crimes of a sexual nature. But that's the whole movie. It's him committing some murders. And then the cops finally catch up to him and he thinks he's going to get caught. So he calls his lawyer and tells him where all the bodies are hidden. And he's ready to be arrested. So he gets ready for the day. He goes to the apartment where he's hiding a bunch of the bodies, and come to find out the apartment has been completely done clean. No bodies, no graffiti, no blood, nothing. And his lawyer doesn't believe him and nobody else does, so essentially he gets away with it, and you're left at the end of the movie not knowing whether or not he actually fucking killed people, or if it's just all in his head. Except we know the doodles are real because his assistant finds his little book of doodles in his desk. The end. Now, did I like it? I mean, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know for a fact if you did not give me an ending that pays off for the rest of the movie, I'm going to take major points off. And that's exactly what this did, because now I have no idea whether or not he actually fucking killed these people. And I'm sure a lot of people who are thinking logically are saying, oh, well, if they never showed up, obviously it was all in his head. My argument is, it comes down to the lifestyle that Patrick Bateman, who Christian Bale was playing, is living, and our knowledge of the lifestyle of 80s yuppies. Hear me out. Did you see Wolf of Wall Street? You know, the kind of sort of biopic based on Jordan Belfort, who was actually doing a lot of like underground yuppie shit in the 80s, selling fake penny stocks, things like that. We know he was making a massive ass amount of money stealing. They were buying drugs, they were buying courtesans, doing a shitload of illegal activity. And then you want to throw in organized crime, a ton of like corporate bailouts, things like that that we have seen since the year 2000. You cannot convince me that he did not actually do it, and when he called his lawyer, who was palling around with all these damn Wall Street people, that the lawyer didn't send in a cleanup crew because Patrick gave him the locations of everybody who was missing and or killed to clean up Patrick's mess and then pretend like it never happened. And that's what I think exactly happened. I don't think it was a hallucination at all. I think by Patrick wanting to admit as to what he was done was a hindrance, a detriment, what will you, of the lifestyle all those boys were living and playing around in, and they had to hide it. And the best way to do it was to gaslight him into thinking he was crazy. But also one more thing that's not entirely important, but I still find it interesting. So Patrick and a bunch of other people are all sitting around and talking about going to clubs and stuff, and they're like, we should have gone to Tunnel. Which I don't know if Tunnel was like a actual place in New York in the 80s at any point. But I do for a fact remember that on Sex and the City they were making fun of Carrie for going to Tunnel in the 80s. Which means the club Tunnel existed in both American Psycho and Sex and the City. Meaning that American Psycho and Sex and the City take place in the same universe. And considering they both go to clubs, we have no idea how far Carrie escaped with her own teeth. I messed that up, but you know what I mean. Also, he took out a puppy. And I was not prepared for that. He picked up a kitten. And it was almost. And that'd have been, y'all know what would have happened. It would have gotten a big fat goose egg. But the cat was spared, so I'll give it a fair score. I'm going to give it like a 7.5 out of 10. Like I said, I take off a lot of points if you don't give me a coherent ending. 7.5. Okay, bye. Studio. Studio. I like Phil Collins more than I like Huey Lewis.